Don't you leave me all alone. Stand by me and pray with me. I can't do this on my own. Walk with me, talk with me. Don't you leave me all alone. Stand by me and stay with me, 'cause I can't do this on my own. I've been down and I've been out. I've seen things no one should see, but I knew one day, come what may, that I'll sing a song of hope. Said I've been down and I've been out, and I've seen things no one should see, but I knew one day, come what may, that I'll sing a song of hope. Walk with me, talk with me, Don't you leave me all alone. Stand by me, stay with me. I can't do this on my own.
Your times of joy have been too brief. The threat of death posed by weapons made you leave your own possessions. But do not sink, you need to float. In times of need, I'll be your boat. Let's stand together, you and me, address the needs of refugees.
Walk with me, talk with me. Don't you leave me all alone. Stand by me, pray with me. I can't do this on my own. Walk with me, talk with me. Don't you leave me all alone. Stand by me and pray with me. I can't do this on my own. I can't do this on my own. I need you. I need you. No. Stand, pray. No. I can't do this on my own. I can't do this on my own.
She's a rich girl, she don't try to hide it, got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. He's a poor boy, empty as a pocket, he's empty as a pocket with nothing to lose. Sing ta-na-na, ta-na-na-na, she got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Ta-na-na, ta-na-na-na, she got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. 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 People say she's crazy, she got diamonds on the soles of her shoes, yeah. Well, that's one way to lose these walking blues. Diamonds on the soles of your shoes. She was physically forgotten, but then she slipped into my pocket with my car keys. She said, you've taken me for granted because I please you. Wearing these diamonds, I could say, yeah, everybody here know what I'm talking about. Yeah, everybody here knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, talking about diamonds on the soles of a shoe.
Glory, we the Ambazonians, pledge our loyalty. Praise the soul of Savior who granted us the freedom. And let the soul the hero who bought the land with Diablo. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Hail, hail, hail this land of glory. We the Ambazonians pledge our loyalty. Praise the soul of Savior who granted us the freedom. And let the soul the hero who bought the land with Diablo. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting is first of all. Will most my God be the watchman of this nation?
Fellow Ambazonians, dear Southern Cameroonians, our war against the cruel annexationists, the Republic du Cameroon, is almost 3 years old today. We still have only one enemy in this war, and that is French Cameroon. The Hitler of Africa, Paul Biya, has now deployed more than 5,000 additional troops into our land, making more than 12,000 soldiers armed to the teeth currently in our territory to escalate their search to kill operations on our innocent people and decimate our communities in a hope to ultimately subdue the defiant will of our people in boycotting their twin elections charade of 9 February. Ironically, they are doing this in a bid to sell their special status to our suffering people. I think their reasoning is in the order of Stalin. They think if we are severely tortured and massacred mercilessly, we will be weak and willing to accept any half-breed for a solution. To the generation that I proudly represent, that is either a mistake or a lie. We will fight till the last man standing. We have pledged with every ounce of our souls that if there is no Ambazonia, there shall be no Cameroon as we know it. We want to remind the international community that the genocide being perpetrated by Paul Biya's special status squads on our innocent Ambazonian populations right before their watchful eyes has no place in the 21st century. Cameroon now targets and kills mostly our men and women of school age. Children, our actual and potential fighting force, capable of sustaining our resistance against French Cameroon's 58-year fraud and cruel annexation. This is a Rwanda-type genocide. In the past 1 month, Paul Biya's special status genocidal squads have accelerated their killings in southern Cameroon. Our villages are being burnt down at an unprecedented rate. Mass graves are littered all over southern Cameroon. We are calling on the international community, the United Nations Security Council, to immediately send an independent fact-finding mission to Ambazonia for the world to have a first-hand appraisal of this second Rwanda happening now in southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. Any further delay speaks more of a complicity than of negligence. Our people are suffering in fear of wanton arrests and torture, snake bites, hunger, detention without trial, disappearances, no school for our children, rapes, kidnaps for ransom, lack of medical services, etc. Yet, what remains clear is that all these sufferings may have augmented our pain as a people, but have not succeeded and will not succeed to deter our collective resolve to take our country back from these cruel French Cameroon annexationists. For 3 years, it is fair to say we have shocked our arrogant adversary, French Cameroon, and perplexed the do-nothing international community that apparently seems to have given our cruel annexationists, French Cameroons, the unlimited latitude to deal with our movement by military might alone, because of what they erroneously considered as a mere internal Cameroon Anglophone uprising. We have never been a minority of another man's country, Our solution, any solution that does not recognize the foundation of equality of French Cameroon and the Southern Cameroons as it was pre-1961 and contemplated by United Nations Resolution 1608 is just another therapy based on a faulty diagnosis. Thank God Almighty, we have made it clear on the world stage and in the law courts to all that are interested in our matter that we are not French Cameroonians. We will only be French Cameroonians the day French Cameroonians become Ambazonians. Likewise, we will only accept a special status within French Cameroon the day French Cameroon agrees to be colonized by Ambazonia and accept our offer of a special status to them. The recent events in Bui are very disturbing to all lovers of Ambazonia. We at the interim government are monitoring the situation closely. We are working hard with the county executives and the National Self-Defense Council to get to the bottom of this and ensure there are no further escalations. In this regard, we continue to call on all parties concerned to exercise utmost restraint by considering more the bigger picture for our struggle than the ego of a senseless rivalry. We want to present here our heartfelt condolences to the families of all our valiant young men who have fallen by our own sword, from Mator to Teke, from Upper Bayang to Fako, from Libialem to Ndian, from Guzang to Bui. These friendly fires must stop. This is unethical, anti-revolutionary, and silly. This is not who we are. We are Ambazonians first. We took up arms for the right reasons, to defend ourselves from a ruthless annexationist. We don't fight our own. We cannot win by killing our own. Our battle should not be a battle for internal domination. It is a battle against the colonialist and his forces and their corrupt enablers. You must not, however, shy away from legitimate self-defense when attacked by whosoever. Anyone who attacks you is an enemy of Ambazonia. However, all our restoration forces should exercise restraint when provoked by a fellow soldier, so you don't act or react by emotions and not reasons. I call on all groups and activists communicating with or helping our valiant forces on the ground to desist from all forms of manipulation and indoctrination that are turning some of our good fighters into monsters. Let me remind all activists, group leaders, and members of our interim government that leadership in Ambazonia will not be through the barrel. It shall be from the people, for the people, and by the people. We want to assure all Ambazonians that our restoration quest is stronger now than ever. Your interim government and the leadership of all 13 counties and 61 local government areas of Ambazonia have pledged to never use your hard-earned contributions to acquire capacities meant to resist our one and only adversary, La République du Cameroon, to fight innocent fellow freedom fighters, the groups notwithstanding. All genuine fighting groups within every county fighting against La République forces should come together under the coordination of the county leadership for material support and strategic coordination. Killers of fellow innocent fighters should know that the international community is watching and our people are recording your actions in this struggle. We cannot be seen as helping the enemy in their ill-fated mission by targeting our bravest and obeying on Ambazonian orders from any so-called group leader. There shall be a day of reckoning after this war is over. We are aware that the special status terrorist squads have been strictly ordered by the ailing octogenarian Paul Biya to kill every southern Cameroonian of fighting age at sight and to burn down all our houses. We now face the threat of annihilation. As we prepare to deny Cameroon the opportunity to find an escape route from the Swiss-led international negotiation, we should understand the depth that French Cameroon will go to find a viable excuse to divert the pressure of the international community on Cameroon to meet us in Switzerland. They are bent on convincing or conceiving all kinds of maneuvers to avoid the inevitable. These desperados are in a frantic search for an acceptable excuse to persuade the civilized world as to why their only solution to this conflict is military and not genuine negotiation. La République is equally paying a fortune to formulate alibis for questions surrounding their double standards towards the Swiss talks. For a year now, they are propping and promoting phony options to the Swiss talks, like the Grand National Dialogue or the Forum of the ex-African Heads of State or the so-called Coalition for Dialogue. So they can say, and I quote, "We are talking on other platforms with Southern Cameroonian leaders. Therefore, if we don't come to Switzerland, it is not a rejection of dialogue." That's what they are doing. Fellow Ambazonians, dear Southern Cameroonians, French Cameroon is not winning the war. That's why they are doubling down on the indiscriminate killing of our civilians and burning of our houses as a means of winning the war. They stupidly thought their scorched-earth policy will break the resolve of our great people out of these pains and sufferings inflicted on us. No. That cruel policy, borrowed from their French Maquisard War in the 50s, is for us instead an indelible reminder for all our communities to never again accept to surrender in marriage and live together with the murderers of our kindreds. Shame on French Cameroon. Shame on Paul Biya. And shame on the do-nothing international community. The Biya regime and the Biya and his advisors are making a mistake to think that the solution to this genocidal war on the people of Southern Cameroon is to buy over a few of our activists and so-called leaders and CPDM sellouts, and then pretend to embrace the international dialogue, but in the backside escalate a full-blown civil war. They hope to crush us, those they call the radicals, and impose their special status on us through some form of dialogue with those they consider moderates amongst us. Isn't it foolishness for Biya to think that we Ambazonians can ever live together with French Cameroon again in peace under such degrees of violence and untold depravity? Let me comfort our desperate IDPs, the countless wounded, the incarcerated, and all our mourning families with these words: our victory is sure. It is the only consolation you deserve. We shall surely overcome these thugs and take back our beloved country from these Bulu-led criminals. Our restoration forces are now equal to the task. All they need now is our unflinching and sacrificial support. Now we have tested soldiers, trained on the job. We are better than when we started 3 years ago. If French Cameroon really had a better strategy that would work, they already used it. And you know the results. We now control more than 80% of our territory. And their combat rookies trained in the forests of Ebolova to replace their thousands of soldiers missing in action will not prevail where their betters failed. Cameroon just takes delight in wasting more lives. But sooner or later, they will meet us at the table in Switzerland. Mark my word. We stand in agreement with the United States, with the United Nations, and the European Union for a mediated settlement as the way forward. Our AMBAZONIA lockdown dates for the entire territory of AMBAZONIA remain as fixed as prior announced, from Thursday, February 6 to Tuesday, February 11, 2020. All borders with La République shall be closed. There shall be no movement into and out of our territory, no movement within our territory, no elections, no campaigns, and no political activities. Our restoration forces have vowed to pursue lawbreakers, their properties, and their families before, during, and after the polls, right to the gates of hell. Let me announce the Southern Cameroon's Independence War Draft. Your interim government is hereby calling every male and female of fighting age to join the resistance now, instead of being neutral, only to be targeted, as it is now, and be killed anyway by the Bia's genocidal squad, as walking down the street as a civilian or sleeping in your bed. Let us all prepare to die honorably, fighting for our nation, than die on our knees as innocent chickens. We don't have to wait until all our houses are burnt or our relatives are killed before we defend ourselves. We are a people truly targeted for elimination by the worst genocidal machine in the world today. Every household and family of AMBAZONIA, therefore, and every family of AMBAZONIA descent must participate in cash or in kind in this enlistment into AMBAZONIan army by adopting one valiant soldier per family. It is operation one for one age, one weapon for one household. One household, one weapon. Contact your local government administrators for your family enlistment and participation in this patriotic exercise. Let's come together and fight for our common survival. Go now to your local government or county and be counted today. Do so. Gather your family members to pay for at least one weapon. And let's tell La République to their face that the real war you declared is just about to begin. Enroll and pay your compulsory independence dues. Do so now at www.CIDambazoniancitizens.com and pay for your ABC television too at www.abcambertv.org. Let's fight for posterity. Let's go to work. Long live AMBAZONIA. God bless you.
Hail this land of glory, we the Ambazonians, pledge our loyalty, brave the soul of slavery. to the hero who bore the lonely diablo. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.
With me, talk with me. Don't you leave me all alone. Stand by me and pray with me. I can't do this on my own. Walk with me, talk with me. Don't you leave me all alone. Stand by me and stay with me, 'cause I can't do this on my own. I've been down and I've been out. I've seen things no one should see, but I knew one day, come what may, that I'd sing a song of hope. Said I've been down and I've been out, and I've seen things no one should see, but I knew one day, come what may, that I'll sing a song of hope. Walk with me, talk with me, Don't you leave me all alone. By me, stay with me. I can't do this on my own. Na 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 na.
Been through pain, been through grief. Your times of joy have been too brief. The threat of death posed by weapons made you leave your own possessions. But do not sink, you need to float. In times of need, I'll be your boat. Let's stand together, you and me. Address the needs of refugees.
Walk with me, talk with me. Don't you leave me all alone. Stand by me, pray with me. I can't do this on my own. Walk with me, talk with me. Don't you leave me
Thank you.
Deep in my heart, I do believe someday we'll all be free. Someday we'll all be free. I may not know how long 'twill be. Someday we'll all be free. Someday we'll all be free. Someday we'll all be free. Hold on, my brother, give me your hand. Someday we'll all be free. Someday we'll all be free. Learning to love, we'll find our way. Someday someday we'll all be free. Someday we'll all be free. Someday we'll all be free. We shall overcome someday.
Thank you very much.